The stage is dimly lit. You walk out slowly, no music, no fanfare. You stand at the center of the stage for a full 10 seconds in silence, making eye contact with different parts of the audience. The silence should be slightly uncomfortable. Good evening. I'm not here to tell you a joke. I'm not here to make you feel comfortable. In fact, my entire purpose for the next hour is to make you as uncomfortable as possible. Because comfort is the enemy of greatness. Comfort is the warm, soft blanket under which potential goes to die. I want to start by asking you to do something. I want you to look at the person sitting next to you. Go on, turn and look at them. Now turn back to me. In that person, you see a stranger. You see a face, an outfit, a haircut. You have no idea what battles they're fighting, what dreams they're chasing, or what demons they're hiding. You see a projection. Now, I want you to do something much, much harder. I want you to close your eyes. Pause. Wait for the room to quiet down. Close them. I'm not playing. This isn't a gimmick. Close your eyes. I want you to conjure a mirror in your mind. A full-length mirror. And in that mirror, I don't want you to see the person who walked in here tonight. I don't want you to see the curated version you post on social media, the smiling version you show your colleagues, or the polite version you show your family. I want you to see the real you. See the you that woke up this morning. See the you that, when that alarm went off, felt that familiar wave of dread. The you that negotiated with your own ambition. The you that hit the snooze button and, in that single, seemingly insignificant act, chose yesterday over today. Chose comfort over progress. Chose the past over the future. Look at that person in the mirror. Look at the promises they've broken to themselves. The gym memberships unused. The business plan gathering dust. The book unwritten. The difficult conversation avoided. The dream deferred. See the weight of every "I'll start tomorrow," every "I'm too tired," every "it's not the right time." That weight is heavier than any barbell in any gym. That weight is the weight of your unlived life. Now, in that same mirror, I want you to see another person standing right behind you. This is the person you were born to be. This is the champion, the leader, the artist, the entrepreneur, the parent, the legend. This is the version of you that never hits the snooze button, the you that eats adversity for breakfast, the you that keeps their promises, especially the ones they make to themselves, the you that is operating at 100% of their potential. Look at the gap between those two people. The person you are, and the person you could be. That gap, that chasm, is the reason you are in this room tonight. That gap is the source of all your frustration, all your anxiety, all your quiet desperation. My question to you is simple. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to spend the rest of your life living in that gap? Looking over your shoulder at the ghost of who you could have been? Or are you going to make a decision, right here, right now, that you are going to close that gap? That you are going to wage a holy war on the mediocrity within you and become the person you see in the mirror of your higher self? Because let me tell you something. Change doesn't happen by accident. It's not a lottery ticket. It's a choice. It's a declaration. It's a decision that your future is more important than your feelings. That your purpose is more powerful than your past. Most people will go their whole lives without ever truly confronting themselves in that mirror. They'll distract themselves with noise, with entertainment, with the drama of others. They will do anything to avoid the silent judgment of their own untapped potential. But not you. Not tonight. Tonight, we shatter the mirror of who you were. And we start building the reality of who you will become. This is not day one of a new journey. This is day zero. The day the old you dies, and the new you is born. The day we stop talking and we start doing. The day we stop wishing and we start working. So, if you are comfortable, I suggest you get ready. If you are looking for easy answers, you are in the wrong place. But if you are hungry, if you are fed up, if you are finally ready to pay the price for the life you are meant to live, Then welcome. Welcome to the first day of your real life. The journey begins now. Open your eyes. Section 1. The Anatomy of an Excuse. Approx 1,500 words. Alright. So we've looked in the mirror. We've seen the gap. We feel that fire, that motivation. But let me tell you a secret. That fire will fade. That feeling you have right now. It's temporary. Motivation is a spark, not a furnace. You cannot build a life on the back of a feeling. So what happens when the feeling is gone? What happens tomorrow morning, when it's 5 a.m., it's dark, it's cold, and your bed feels like the most wonderful place on earth? What happens then? Another voice will show up. A much quieter, much more seductive voice. It's the voice of reason. It's the voice of logic. It's the voice of comfort, and it will whisper the most dangerous words in the universe. It's okay. Just for today. That voice is the architect of the excuse. An excuse is the most powerful and destructive form of self-deception ever invented. It's a perfectly crafted lie that you tell yourself to justify inaction. It's a story you invent to make it okay to fail before you even try. Excuses are chains. And the scariest part is, you are the one forging them, link by miserable link. Let's dissect this poison. Let's put it under a microscope. The most common excuse I hear is, I don't have time. I want everyone in this room who has ever said I don't have time in the last month to raise your hand. Be honest. Pause. Look around as hands go up. Look around you. Now let me tell you something that might sting. I don't have time is a lie. It is a complete and utter fabrication. You have time. You have the exact same 24 hours in a day, the same 168 hours in a week, that every single person you admire has. Elon Musk has 24 hours. Oprah Winfrey has 24 hours. The difference is not the amount of time you have, it's the value you place on it. When you say, I don't have time to go to the gym, what you're really saying is, my health is not a priority. When you say, I don't have time to build my business, you're saying, my financial freedom is not a priority. When you say, I don't have time to spend with my family, you are saying, the people I claim to love are not my priority. It's not a time management problem. It's a priority problem. You have time for the things you make time for. You have hours to scroll through the lives of strangers on social media. You have hours to binge-watch a show about people living fictional lives because you're avoiding your own. You have time to complain about your situation. But you don't have time to change it? It's a lie. Stop telling it. The second killer excuse, I don't have the resources. This usually means money, connections, or education. I knew a guy, a brilliant artist. His paintings had a soul. They could make you feel things you didn't know you were capable of feeling. But his work was collecting dust in his tiny apartment. I asked him, why don't you show this? Why don't you get a gallery? And he said, man, I can't. I don't have the money for a proper web. I don't know any of the right people. I didn't go to the fancy art school. Resources. Years went by. One day, I saw a story online about a new, sensational artist who was taking the world by storm. His work was raw, powerful. He started by taking pictures of his art on his cheap phone and posting them on a free Instagram account. He engaged with every single person who commented. He built a community from nothing. He didn't have resources. He had resourcefulness. Your resourcefulness will always be more important than your resources. The world doesn't care about your starting line. It only cares about your finish. Stop looking at what you don't have. What do you have? You have a mind. You have a voice. You have 2 hands. You have 24 hours. You have the greatest supercomputer in human history sitting in your pocket. You have more resources at your fingertips than a king had 100 years ago. The problem isn't your resources. It's your lack of will. And the third, most insidious excuse, I'm afraid. This one is tricky because it feels real. From this day forward, you are on a no-excuse diet. You are going on a fast from the victim mentality. You are taking 100% ownership. The traffic isn't why you were late. You are, because you didn't leave earlier. The economy isn't why your business failed. You are, because you didn't adapt. Your past is not why you are unhappy. You are, because you refuse to let it go. This is radical responsibility. It's terrifying. And it is the only path to freedom. The moment you stop blaming, you reclaim your power. The moment you kill your excuses, you give birth to your results. Section 2. The first victory. The 4 a.m. accord, approx 1,600 words. So, we've unmasked the enemy. We've dissected the anatomy of an excuse. Now, we must go to the battle. And the first battle of your new life is not fought in the boardroom. It's not fought in the gym. And it's not fought on the world stage. It's fought in the dark. It's fought in the silence. And it's fought against your greatest adversary, your pillow. The war for your life is won or lost in the first 5 minutes of your day. Everything, and I mean everything, hinges on that moment when your alarm clock screams you back to reality. That moment is a crossroads. It is a choice between two futures. On one path lies the snooze button, the symbol of mediocrity, the ambassador of just a little longer. When you hit that button, you are sending a powerful signal to your subconscious mind. You are telling it, my promises are negotiable. My goals can wait. My comfort is more important than my commitment. You are literally starting your day with an act of self-betrayal. Think about the physics of it. You set an intention the night before. I will wake up at 5 a.m. Your ambitious self, your forward-thinking self, made a plan. But then, the alarm rings, and your weak self, your comfort-seeking self, overrides that plan. Who is in control? In that moment, you let the weakest version of you win the first battle of the day. And that loss creates a negative momentum that infects everything that follows. You'll be more likely to skip your workout. You'll be more likely to eat the donut. You'll be more likely to avoid the hard task at work. Why? Because you already trained your brain to take the easy way out before your feet even hit the floor. Now let's look at the other path. The path of discipline. The path of the champion. The alarm rings. It's dark. It's cold. Every cell in your body is screaming at you to go back to sleep. The voice of comfort is whispering sweet nothings in your ear. But you have made an accord. A promise. The 4 a.m. accord. It's a contract you sign with your future self. And so, you don't think. You don't negotiate. You don't hesitate. You act. You use what I call the 5-second rule. The moment the alarm rings, you count backwards from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and on 1, you move. You physically move. You sit up. You swing your legs over the side of the bed. You plant your feet firmly on the ground. Boom. That's it. That is the single most important moment of your day. That is the first victory. In that moment, you have chosen discipline over comfort. You have chosen strength over weakness. You have honored the commitment you made to yourself. You have sent a shockwave to your brain that says, I am in control. I do what I say I will do. We are in charge here. This small act of getting out of bed is the first domino. It knocks over the next one, putting on your gym clothes. Which knocks over the next one, drinking a glass of water. Which knocks over the next one, heading out the door. This is the domino of discipline. You build a chain of victories that becomes an unstoppable force for the rest of your day. The average millionaire wakes up at 4 a.m. Is it because there's something magical about the number 4? No. It's because they understand the principle of the first victory. They understand that by getting up before the rest of the world, they gain a psychological edge. They are starting their day with intention while everyone else is starting it with reaction. They are on offense while the world is still on defense. Before the emails start flooding in, before the kids wake up, before the notifications start buzzing, before the world starts demanding a piece of you, you have claimed a piece of the day for yourself. This is your sacred time. This is where you build the person you need to be to handle the chaos that is coming. I had a mentor, an old, tough-as-nails man who had built an empire from nothing. I asked him for the single best piece of business advice he had. He didn't talk about marketing, or finance, or networking. He looked at me and said, "Make your bed." I thought he was joking. He wasn't. He said, "If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. By the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right." That's the philosophy of the first victory. You conquer the small, you earn the right to conquer the large. You win the morning, you put yourself in a position to win the day. So I challenge you. For the next 7 days, I want you to sign the 4 a.m. accord with yourself. Or 5 a.m. The time doesn't matter as much as the principle. Set your alarm, and when it goes off, you use the 5-second rule, and you get up.
No excuses. No es noce.
The first few days will be hell. Your body will hate you. Your mind will rebel. But you must force the victory. Because on the other side of that initial pain is a new identity. You stop being the person who tries to wake up early. You become the person who is an early riser. It becomes part of who you are. This single habit, this one discipline, will cascade into every other area of your life. It will improve your health, your work, your relationship, because it's not about the morning. It's about the promise. It's about proving to yourself, day after day, that you are the kind of person who does what is hard. And when you do what is hard, your life gets easier. The choice is yours. The battlefield is waiting. Section 3, Forging Your Why, the Engine of Endurance, approx 1,500 words. Alright. So you're getting up. You're winning the first victory. You're making your bed. You're building that discipline. But I have to warn you, that is not enough. Discipline alone is a tool. And a tool without a purpose is just dead weight. You can have the sharpest axe in the world, but if you don't have a forest to clear or a house to build, it's just going to sit there and rust. Discipline will get you out of bed, but it won't get you through the darkest nights of your soul. Willpower is a finite resource. It gets tired. It gets hungry. It gets weak. On the days when your willpower is gone, when your discipline is cracking, you need something deeper. Something more powerful. You need a why. Your why is the reason. It is the core of your motivation. It is the fuel for your fire. It is the engine of your endurance. A goal is something you want to have. A why is the person you need to be. A goal is a destination. A why is the reason you're making the journey in the first place. Let me tell you the difference. A goal is, I want to lose 50 pounds. A why is, I need to be healthy and strong so I can see my grandchildren grow up and not be a burden to my family. A goal is, I want to make $1 million. A why is, I will build a life of financial freedom to break the cycle of poverty in my family and give my mother the retirement she never had. You see the difference? One is a number. The other is a story. One is a target. The other has a soul. When it's 4 a.m. and you've only had 3 hours of sleep, $1 million won't get you out of bed. But the image of your mother's tired face, the memory of her working 2 jobs just to keep the lights on, that will pull you out of bed like a rocket. Your why must be something so profound, so personal, that it gives you chills. It has to be bigger than you. It has to be connected to service, to love, to legacy. If your why is just about you, about getting a nice car or a big house, I promise you, you will quit when it gets hard. Because it will get hard. Life will hit you with everything it's got. It will knock you down, kick you in the teeth, and leave you for dead. And in that moment, when you are bloody and broken on the canvas of life, a fancy car will not be enough to. Third, What is the legacy I want to leave? I want you to perform a thought experiment. Imagine your own funeral. I know it's morbid, but stay with me. The room is filled with everyone you love and respect. For people are going to get up and speak about you. A family member, a friend, a colleague, and someone from your community. What do you want them to say? What words do you want them to use to describe you? Honest, courageous, generous, a leader, a person who made a difference. Or will they struggle for words? Will they talk about your potential? The things you could have done? You are writing that eulogy right now. With every choice you make. With every action you take. Your why is embedded in the eulogy you want to earn. Live a life today that is worthy of the words you want spoken tomorrow. I was adrift for years. I had goals. I wanted to be successful. But I was inconsistent. I'd work hard for a while, then I'd fall off. I was a ship without a rudder, at the mercy of every current. Then, my father got sick. And in his last few months, he pulled me aside. He was a simple man, a man who worked with his hands his whole life. He looked at me and said, "Son, I see a fire in you. But you're letting it smolder. Don't live a life of embers. I want you to be an inferno. Promise me you'll be an inferno." He died 2 weeks later. And in that moment of grief, I found my why. My why became that promise. I would not live a life of embers. I would become an inferno. Every morning when I want to quit, I hear his voice. Every time I face an obstacle, I see his face. That promise is my engine. It is unbreakable. It is non-negotiable. You need to find yours. It's in there. It's buried under years of social conditioning, fear, and self-doubt. But it's there. And once you find it, once you forge it in the fire of your soul, you will become unstoppable. You won't need an alarm clock anymore. Your purpose will wake you up. Your why will pull you from the darkness and into the glorious light of a day that is waiting to be conquered. Section 4. The architect of your day, approx 1,600 words. You have your why. It's the fuel, the fire, the engine. You're winning the first victory. But a rocket engine without a guidance system is just a bomb. It will create a lot of noise, a lot of fire, and ultimately, it will crash and burn. Your why gives you the power. Your daily habits, your routines, your intentional actions. That is the guidance system. You cannot just be motivated. You must be strategic. You are not a tenant in your own life. You are the architect. And a great architect leaves nothing to chance. They have a blueprint. This is your blueprint for building a day worthy of your why. It's about more than just waking up early. It's about what you do in that sacred time you've carved out for yourself. It's about stacking wins. The first principle is this: own your inputs. Your mind is a garden. For most people, their garden is overrun with weeds. Why? Because they leave the gate wide open. The first thing they do in the morning is grab their phone and they let the world dump its garbage into their mind. They let in the weeds of social media envy, the weeds of negative news, the weeds of other people's urgent but not important demands, and then they wonder why they can't grow anything beautiful. From this day forward, the first hour of your day is a no-fly zone for other people's garbage.
No social media.
No email. No news. Nothing that is reactive. That first hour is for you to be proactive. It is for you to plant seeds, not pull weeds. What do you plant? You plant seeds of strength, knowledge, and peace. This is the warrior's morning routine. It's built on 3 pillars. We talked about them briefly. Now we master them. Pillar 1. Fortify the body. Your body is not a taxi for your brain. It is your vessel. It is the physical manifestation of your will. You must treat it like the high-performance machine it is. The moment your feet hit the floor, you move. You don't have to run a marathon. The goal is to change your physiological state. To go from a state of rest to a state of readiness. Do push-ups until you can't do another one. Do air squats. Do burpees until you feel your heart pounding in your chest. Drink a full liter of water. Feel the life flooding back into you. Go for a walk in the cold morning air. Feel the shock of it on your skin. This is the signal to your body. We are awake, we are alive, we are ready for battle. An object in motion stays in motion. You are that object. Start the day with powerful, physical motion. Pillar 2. Calibrate the mind. After you've woken up your body, you must calibrate your mind. You must feed it with powerful, positive inputs. Pick up a book. Not a novel. Not entertainment. A book that teaches you something. A biography of someone you admire. A book on philosophy, business, or leadership. Read one page. Just one. That one page is a seed. It will grow throughout the day. Listen to something that inspires you. A speech. A podcast. Something that reminds you of your power and your purpose. Spend 10 minutes in absolute silence. Just sit. Observe your thoughts. Let them come and go without judgment. This is not about emptying your mind. It is about learning to be the master of it, rather than its slave. In the silence, you find clarity. Pillar 3. Align the spirit. This is the final, most crucial piece. You must align yourself with a sense of purpose and gratitude. This is where you connect with your why. Take out a journal. And write. First, write down 3 things you are truly grateful for. And you cannot be generic. Don't just write my family. Write why. I am grateful for my daughter's laugh, because it reminds me of pure joy. I am grateful for the scar on my hand, because it reminds me of a lesson I learned the hard way. Gratitude is the antidote to fear and despair. It is the foundation of a powerful spirit. Second, write down your declarations for the day. Not a to-do list. Declarations. An affirmation of who you choose to be. Today, I am disciplined. Today, I am focused. Today, I add value to every person I meet. Today, I will win. You are programming your subconscious for victory. You are telling your mind what to look for. Finally, review your core why. Look at the names of the people you are fighting for. Read the eulogy you want to earn. Connect with that deep, emotional core. This is your North Star. This is what will guide you when the storms come. This entire routine might take an hour. It might take 30 minutes. The duration is less important than the consistency. You are the architect. You do this every single day. No days off. Why? Because the enemy doesn't take a day off. Mediocrity doesn't take a day off. Regret doesn't take a day off. This routine is your fortress. It's where you build the strength to face the world. Most people walk out their front door every morning emotionally and mentally naked. They are immediately bombarded and overwhelmed. But not you. You walk out your door wearing a full suit of armor. You built it yourself, in the dark, while they were sleeping. You are prepared. You are centered. You have stacked your wins. You fortified your body. You calibrated your mind. You aligned your spirit. Before most people have even had their first cup of coffee, you have already won the most important battles of the day. You have designed a day for victory. Now all you have to do is go out and execute the plan. Section 5. The War Against the Voices, approx. 1,600 words. You have the blueprint. You're building the fortress. You are executing the plan. And the moment you start making real progress, the moment you start to shine, the attacks will begin. And they will come from 2 fronts. The first front is external, the world. The second, and far more dangerous front, is internal, your own mind. You are in a 2-front war, and you must be prepared to fight. Let's talk about the external front first. The naysayers. The moment you elevate your life, you become a mirror. And people will look into that mirror and see a reflection of their own compromises, their own excuses, their own fears. And that makes them deep. You cannot let the opinions of sheep stop the mission of the lion. Curate your circle. If people aren't adding fuel to your fire, they are pouring water on it. Find the ones who clap when you win. Find the ones who push you to be better. Your environment is more powerful than your willpower. Build a circle of eagles, and you will learn to soar. But as difficult as that external war is, it is nothing compared to the internal war. The war against the voices in your own head. There is a saboteur that lives inside you. A terrorist. And its only mission is to keep you in your comfort zone. It knows all your weaknesses. It knows all your fears. And it will use them against you. It's the voice of self-doubt that whispers, "Who are you to do this? You're not smart enough. You're not talented enough. You're an imposter." It's the voice of past failures that screams, "Remember last time? You failed. You humiliated yourself. It's going to happen again." It's the voice of fear that paralyzes you with, "What if it doesn't work? What will people think? What if you lose everything?" This internal battle is the real war. This is where champions are made or broken. You can have the best plan, the best why, the best routine in the world, but if you lose the war between your ears, you lose everything. So how do you fight it? First, you must separate yourself from the voice. That voice is not you. It is a product of your past program. It's the echo of a critical parent, a mean teacher, a past trauma. It is not the truth. It is just noise. When you hear it, I want you to label it. Say to yourself, "That's just the saboteur talking. That's just the fear voice." By labeling it, you create distance. You go from being the voice to being the observer of the voice. And in that space, you find your power to choose a different thought. Second, you must fight lies with truth. The voice says, "You're not good enough." You fight back with the truth, "I am a work in progress, and I am getting better every single day." The voice says, "You're going to fail." You fight back with the truth, "There is no failure, only feedback." Every setback is a setup for a comeback. You must have an arsenal of truths, of affirmations, of declarations, ready to go to war with the lies. Third, you must collect evidence of your own greatness. Your brain is wired to remember your failures. You must intentionally rewire it to remember your wins. At the end of every day, I want you to write down 3 things you did well. No matter how small. I woke up without hitting snooze. I made the hard phone call. I kept my promise to myself. This is your evidence locker. When the voice of doubt starts to whisper, you open up that locker and you show it the proof. The undeniable proof that you are a person of action, a person of discipline, a person who is winning. This war is not won in a single, glorious battle. It is won through thousands of small skirmishes, fought every single day. It's a war of attrition. And you win by simply refusing to surrender. You win by being more stubborn than your own self-doubt. You win by getting up one more time than you get knocked down. Master your mind, and you will master your life. Win the war within, and the war without becomes easy. Section 6, The Alchemy of the Grind, approx 1,500 words, so you're winning the war. You're silencing the internal saboteur. You're deflecting the external naysayers. You're stacking wins day after day. You are on the path. But now comes the greatest test of all. It's not a single, epic battle. It's not a loud, dramatic confrontation. It is the long, silent, and often brutal test of time. It is the grind. The grind is the period after the initial motivation has faded, but before the significant results have appeared. It is the vast, lonely desert you must cross to get to the promised land. It's where most people quit. It's where the committed are separated from the curious. This is where you will feel like you are pouring every ounce of your soul into your work, and getting nothing back. This is the plateau. This is the dip. This is where you will question everything. You will say to yourself, "I've been getting up at 4 a.m. for 3 months. Where is my breakthrough?" I've been working on this business for a year, sacrificing my weekends, ignoring my friends. Why am I not seeing the results? I've been in the gym every single day, eating clean, and the scale has barely moved. This is the moment the voice of reason comes back, but with a new, more dangerous argument. It says, "See? It's not working. You're wasting your time. You gave it a good try, but some people just aren't cut out for this. It's time to be realistic. It's time to quit." And this is where you must understand the most misunderstood principle of success, the myth of the overnight sensation. Every overnight success you have ever seen is a lie. It is the tip of an iceberg that has been forming in the dark, under immense pressure, for years. When you see an entrepreneur on the cover of a magazine, you don't see the decade they spent in their garage, living off instant noodles, facing rejection after rejection. When you see an athlete standing on the podium, you don't see the 10,000 hours they spent in an empty gym, perfecting their craft while their friends were out partying. You see the glory, but you don't see the story. You see the highlight reel, but you have no concept of the endless, boring, repetitive grind it took to create it. Have you ever heard of the Chinese bamboo tree? After you plant the seed, you water it. You nurture it. For the first year, nothing happens. The second year, you water it, you nurture it, and nothing happens. The third year, nothing. The fourth year, nothing. A lesser person would have given up. They would have said the seed is dead. They would have said, this isn't working. But the master gardener keeps watering. And then, in the fifth year, something miraculous happens. The bamboo tree breaks through the ground and grows 90 feet in 6 weeks. So let me ask you, did the tree grow 90 feet in 6 weeks? Or did it grow for 5 years? It grew for 5 years. For 4.5 of those years, all the growth was happening where you couldn't see it. It was building a massive, complex root system strong enough to support the explosive growth that was to come. Without the roots, the height would be impossible. The grind is you building your roots. Every early morning, every difficult task, every single rep, every page you read, every time you choose discipline over comfort when no one is watching, you are building your roots. You may not see the results on the surface, but you are creating the foundation for a skyscraper. While everyone else is trying to build a tent, you are digging the foundation for an empire. You must understand the principle of compounding action. Small, seemingly insignificant efforts, when repeated consistently over time, do not add up. They multiply. If you get 1% better each day for a year, you don't end up 365% better. You end up 37 times better. That is the mathematical power of the grind. Your job is not to look for the harvest every day. Your job is to faithfully plant the seeds. And the secret, the real alchemy of it all, is learning to fall in love with the process. You have to learn to love the hunt as much as the prize. You have to stop seeing the grind as a punishment you must endure to get to a reward. The grind is the reward. Why? Because the grind is where the transformation happens. It's not the achievement of the goal that makes you great. It's the person you become while striving to achieve it. The representatives in the gym aren't just building your muscles, they are forging your character. The long hours studying aren't just filling your head with knowledge, they are building your resilience. The constant rejection you face as you build your business isn't just a series of setbacks. It is the fire that is burning away your ego and building your humility and strength. The grind is the alchemist. It takes the lead of your old self, the lazy, undisciplined, fearful you, and through pressure, through heat, through relentless repetition, it transforms you into gold. You must embrace the loneliness of it. The path to greatness is, by its very nature, a path less traveled. There will be nights you are the only one in the office. There will be mornings you are the only one on the road. While others are consuming, you will be creating. While others are relaxing, you will be building. Accept this. The eagle flies alone. Sheep flock together. Do not be discouraged by the silence of your progress. Do not be fooled by the illusion of stagnation. Your roots are growing. The alchemy is working. Every single... We've gone to war with the voices, both inside and out. And now, we understand the alchemy of the grind. We understand that the long, silent work is what forges the soul of a champion. But what is this all for? What is the ultimate purpose of this forged soul? The gold that has been created from the lead of your old self? Is it just to sit on a shelf and be admired? No. The ultimate purpose of strength is to lift others. The ultimate purpose of wisdom is to guide others. The ultimate purpose of a life well lived is not what you get, but what you give. We are here, finally, to talk about your legacy. I want you to think again about that tombstone. On that tombstone, there are 2 dates. The day you were born, and the day you die. And everyone in this room will have those 2 dates. They are the bookends of your mortal existence. But the only thing that truly matters on that tombstone is the little line in between them. The dash. That dash is your life. It is your story. It is your epic poem. And every single day, with every single choice, with every moment of grind you endure, you are writing a sentence in the story of your dash. The question that should haunt you and inspire you for the rest of your days is this: what story are you writing? Is it a short story? A footnote in the annals of history? A story about a life of quiet desperation? A life lived in the shallows? A life of what-ifs and could-have-beens? Is it a story of a person who played it safe, who never took a risk, who stood at the edge of the arena of life but never dared to step inside? A person who died with their music still inside them? Or, is it an epic? Is it a story of courage? A story of resilience? A story of a person who got knocked down 100 times and got up 101? Is it a story of a person who faced their fears and chased their dreams with every ounce of their being? Is it the story of a person who loved deeply, who gave generously, who picked people up, who left their corner of the world glowing a little brighter than they found it? You are the author. You hold the pen. The ink is your action. The pages are your days. The pursuit of comfort will write a boring story. A predictable story. A story that will be forgotten before the ink is dry. The pursuit of purpose, fueled by the alchemy of the grind, will write a story that people will tell for generations. This isn't about being famous. A legacy is not about having your name on a building. A legacy is about having your name written on the hearts of the people you've impacted. A legacy is the teacher whose students still quote them 30 years later. A legacy is the parent who broke a generational cycle of trauma and raised children who are kind and strong. A legacy is the entrepreneur who built something that solved a problem and created opportunities for others. A legacy is the friend who was the 3 a.m. phone call, the one who showed up when everyone else disappeared. That is what we are fighting for. That is the point of the 4 a.m. wake-ups. That is the purpose of the struggle. Every disciplined act is a word on the page of your epic. Every fear you conquer is a plot twist. Every person you help is a new, vibrant character in your grand narrative. So as we prepare to leave this room tonight, I want you to go back to that mirror in your mind one final time. See the person you are right now. And see the legendary figure you are destined to become. The gap is still there. But it's no longer a terrifying chasm. Now, you see the path across. You see the bridge. And you know that the bridge is built one disciplined morning at a time, one conquered fear at a time, one intentional choice at a time, one day of relentless, unseen grind at a time. Your life is not a dress rehearsal. This is the main event. The clock is ticking, louder now than ever before. Every second that passes is a second you will never get back. You can either spend it building your dream, or you can spend it as a spectator watching others build theirs. You can either spend it writing the story of your dash, or you can let the world write a mediocre one for you. The choice rests, as it always has, and as it always will, with you. So, I ask you for the final time. What story will you write? What legacy will you build? Who will you become? The world doesn't need another person who played it safe. The world needs you, in all your power, all your passion, all your magnificent, unapologetic glory. It is time to stop apologizing for your ambition. It is time to stop asking for permission to be great. Your tombstone is waiting. Your dash is unwritten. The pen is in your hand. Pause. Let the weight of the final message settle. The tone is no longer yelling, but a deep, powerful, resonant call to action. The alarm is about to ring for the first day of the rest of your life. Your future is calling. Your purpose is screaming. Your legacy is waiting to be built. Begin. Your legacy.